In an isolation tank. So Chris Hardwick is here.
Yeah, I'm filling in. We're coming to you from the G4 Studios, which of course are live in Los Angeles.
On the show today, from the new movie Bucky Larson, Born to be a Star, comedian and porn star hopeful Nick Swardson will join us in studio. Then we will head deep into the woods of fake Russia to watch a fake Russian shoot very real guns. Dimitri from FPS Russia is going to blast some leftover garbage into space with a 240 Bravo machine gun.
Then the Summer Games drought is over. Morgan Webb and Blair Herter will rescue starving gamers with news of Rage, Gears of War 2, and Dead Island. Then we're going to show you people who are sexually aroused by trees in the aptly named WTF. Trees, guys. Trees.
Thank you.
This week, a lady caught a foul ball with her grill and made sweet, sweet love to a robot.
Obviously, we're going around the net.
Well done, guys. They're really good at that. They're really good at
You're not even gonna clap along? Who's that?
Popping and locking, kid. Don't worry about it. In at number 5 today.
That was not popping and locking.
That was seizing and dying, not popping and locking. Yeah. Seizing and dying. In at number 5 today, kids, a reminder, you're never safe anywhere.
Especially at the ballpark, as this clip from a recent Yankees versus Orioles game demonstrates.
Is reaching. The ball deflects off the hand of the.
No, it's cool. No. I know you're sad, but seriously, she actually got to meet some super important people after the game.
Oh, that's so nice. The players checked on her.
No, players are overpaid babies. No. She actually got to meet some top-notch plastic surgeons. Yeah. Here's the thing, ladies. Ball face is no face for a woman.
Next summer, Batman will be taking on one of his greatest foes.
In at number 4 is an early look at The Dark Knight Rises, brought to you by the YouTube comedy pros at Barely Political.
There's a new foe on the horizon, Master Wayne, and a much dangerous one yet. Bane. Even worse. Bane Cook.
I thought we got rid of this guy years ago.
He's back, with more energy and even fewer jokes.
Guys, on a first date, we're like a horny shih tzu. It's a dog. Google it.
He will hump the stool, he will hump the mic stand. Humpity hump, hump, hump. Do not get within humping distance of him.
It's time to give you the light, Bane. Cook.
Leave Bane Cook alone!
You're just jealous because he's rich.
I'm a billionaire.
You're just a hater!
I'm not a hater, he just sucks.
Looks like it's time to call in some backup.
Dear God, it's Larry the Cable Penguin. Get her done.
Okay, that was a really good Michael Caine impression, but I thought the Batman voice could have been a little better, right?
You mean like this? No, more like this. Does anyone have a throat lozenge?
In at number 2 is Funny or Die's live-action recreation of the animated series Captain Planet, starring Academy Award nominee Don Cheadle.
Don Cheadle is a serious guy. So for him, saving the planet is serious business.
They're going to destroy the forest.
We have to do something. Let our powers combine. Earth, fire,
Hide!
with your powers combined. I am Captain Planet. Go Planet!
Well, Planeteers, what seems to be the problem?
They're cutting down the trees.
Then I guess we'll have to plant some more.
Captain Planet, stop right now!
My heart, it hurts.
I can't let you do that, Captain.
Don't summon me again unless you're ready for that pain.
Peace. Holes.
Power is mine, bitches.
busting them out.
Yeah. That's how you make trees. You didn't know that?
I didn't know
exactly...
that. Oh my God, that's amazing.
Yeah, here's the
Now I
thing
know.
though, and it's actually not that funny. That's actually no
Oh, it's
worse
not?
than Garfield, A Tale of Two Kitties. It's not. And that's a real movie they paid for.
Garfield didn't kill anyone in that movie.
You actually gotta watch the director's cut, especially for the sex scenes. Because they're raw.
Today's number 5 item is a disturbing candy commercial.
Now, usually when we show you a messed up candy commercial, it's from Skittles. And usually it features a gangly man eating his own hair or something.
But this time, the fine folks at General Mills wanted in on the action.
You look delicious. I feel delicious.
Ew! That was weird.
That kid fell out of the closet's balls. But I guess that's better than falling out of the toilet's vagina.
Today's number 1, or numero uno if you're watching south of the border, is a winning short from the evil geniuses at Channel 101. Intimate Indiscretions is a call-in relationship show featuring love-struck singles sharing their stories on the air.
And while workplace romance is nothing new, we're willing to bet you've never seen it like this before.
OEF 29-H6. You always know just what to say.
This is crazy.
Then let's get crazy.
robots the same way again. Ever.
Actually, let's just say, in my opinion, robots hasn't changed one bit. Domo, Mr. Robot.
Still ahead, America's giving up on space, but FPS Russia isn't.
We'll see some trash blown into the upper atmosphere right after this. Yeah.
Welcome back to another inning of Time to Sports. I'm Kevin Pereira, your ball master.
Ball master.
While I was buying my bulk meats from the local Costco, I ran into a rather tall gentleman by the name of Al Harringtons in the checkout line. We got to rapping, it happens, and I discovered he's a Hooper ballsman. So I invited him to join me for another edition of our Balls to the Wall one-on-one interview segment, Suits versus Skins. Al Harringtons of the Denver McNuggets. Al, I gotta ask, first and foremost, I checked out your website, the alharrington7.com. Is that potentially like a jazz percussion group you have on the side?
Nah, if you know anything about the Nuggets, that's my number.
How many players are there on the team?
Well, there's 15 players on the team, but all the numbers
15.
vary.
7 out of 15 isn't bad.
Nah, I wear 7, other people wear other numbers.
Sure. So is the constant struggle, the strive to be number one?
Where do you get all, who give you all these stats on me and stuff like that? Because you're messing up names.
It's a LexisNexis search.
Well, don't ever go to that website again.
All right, enough with this internet happy chatting. I hope you're ready, because it's time to get down to the business.
Get down to the business.
Now, Al, you were previously on the Roseanne O'Donnell show, where you sang a song from the musical show OK?
Annie, Get Your Gun.
Annie, Get Your Gun is the song you sang.
Yeah.
We can't afford the rights to that.
Right.
So how about a rousing round of Row, Row, Row Your Boat?
You want me to sing it?
I would love to hop in as well.
All right.
Let's go back and forth.
Well, why don't you start it and then I'll finish off.
3, 2, row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. You got to hop in with the row. You want to start from the beginning of the because if you're already gently down the stream, we haven't established you're in that boat and you're rowing. 6, 7, 8. Row, row, row your
boat.
Okay, I got to finish my first set of rowing.
I'll just do my own thing.
I know you have a successful.
What's the next question,
I know
man?
you have a successful jazz
What is
fusion
the
project
next-
with the
what's
Al
the next
Harrington
question?
7.
Please just give me the next question before I got other things to do today.
Here we go. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a... Nailed it! Let's get 7 seconds on the clock if you're ready for our Hot Court Fire Zone question of the week.
Oh, this is a serious question.
Very serious question. We're going to get 7 seconds on the clock. Al, tell me, what is the over-under on your current year's BPG/APG?
This is it. I can't.
You still have a couple seconds left, Al. That is not what the judges were looking for, I can tell you that much. Well, great. That's all the time we have for Al Harrington the 7th, but you can download the hell out of his Jazz Fusion 7-tuplet on iTunes. Until next time, I'm Kevin Ballmaster Pereira, and I'll be here for you when it's time to sports. I didn't get a photo for Twitter, Al. If you could please come back.
And now we return to the land of unlicensed assault weapons.
Why are we doing this? Here's a visit with everyone's favorite demolition expert, FPS Russia. Ho, 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 now he has machine gun. It's from a movie you should see.
Hello my friends, this is FPS Russia again, back on Attack of Show. Today, we're just going to blow some up. So I bring out the big guns. Let's see what we can do. Okay, so this is the big one. This is the 240 Bravo. It is chambered in 7.62 by 51 millimeter, also known as 308. It's an open bolt firing machine gun. It is belt fed, fires up to 900 rounds per minute. This one's got a AAC MGSD suppressor on it. Got the carry handle here for when it gets heavy, and the 25 pounds, it gets heavy. It's got the bipod here for low angle shooting, and the Picatinny rail back here for mounting optics. When you absolutely, positively have to kill every watermelon in sight, except no substitutes. Okay, so this is the 240 Bravo, and I got a big pile of to shoot. Let's see what we can do. Don't be a bitch, cameraman. Let's keep going. That's what the I'm talking about. So as I told you, the 240 Bravo does not mess around. Hope you learned a lot today on Attack of Show, and as always, have a nice day.
Robots, they'll probably become self-aware and kill us all one day. On the upside, you can't get them pregnant.
Until then, they make awesome soccer goalies. Here's robot news. As time goes by, humans are quickly becoming obsolete, thanks in part to science and the ever-improving world of robotics. So let's go meet some of our newest metallic replacements. First up is RoboKeeper. This athletic machine was designed for one thing and one thing only: blocking balls. RoboKeeper, a robotic super goalie designed by Fraunhofer IML in Germany, is nearly impossible to score on by most humans. By using 2 cameras and a computer capable of processing 3D images 50 times per second, this supercharged goalie can react quicker than a ball can reach the net. When the ball is kicked, the computer sends a signal to an aircraft-grade gearbox attached to the goalie that accelerates at 700 feet per second to intercept the ball.
While blocking goals is impressive, it was originally developed as a way to improve industrial vision-based applications where robots need to have quick reaction times, like grabbing items on a fast-moving conveyor belt. RoboKeeper also comes in miniature and remote-controlled versions that can be rented for a small fortune if you really need to work on your penalty kicks. But if you believe soccer is filled with too many hooligans, then perhaps a gentlemanly game of billiards with a robot is more your style. Designed by Cotesis and the Technical University in Munich, this pool-playing AI uses a camera and humanoid arms to gracefully sink balls in the pocket. Custom software built into the robot uses the overhead camera to view the balls and calculate which shots are easiest. It then figures out where to position its arms and how much power to give in order to achieve victory. Cotesis developed robots like these to help robots understand their environment and learn to adapt from their successes and failures. With an ever-improving success rate of over 80%, we wonder how soon it'll be till we see the pool-playing robot on the pro circuit. And finally, after studying how insects work together in the wild, researchers have created Swarmanoid. Developed as part of the Future and Emerging Technologies project in Europe, Swarmanoid is composed of 3 unique mini-bots that work together to complete complicated tasks: hand, foot, and eye bots. The hand bot manipulates items using its claws and has a retractable grappling cable that allows it to climb up walls. However, the foot bots are the real heavy lifters. They have grippers that physically link up with hand bots and other foot bots to form a larger unit. Eye bots are the scouts of the group. They capture environmental data from above and relay it back to the swarm on the ground. They can even attach to the ceiling and turn off their propellers to conserve precious energy. The idea is that one day swarmanoids like these will replace humans in dangerous environments, perform search and rescue missions, or even be sent into space for interplanetary exploration. So, that's it. Soon enough, we'll be replaced by a bunch of soccer-playing, pocket-filling swarm bots that'll surely do everything better than we ever did.
Still ahead, Chris Gore joins us for TV Tuesday with X-Men First Class, Hannah, and Scarface on Blu-ray.
Nice, and later, learn about the small-town boy turned porn star Bucky Larson from Mr. Nick Swardson himself, right here talking to me after this.
Mutants, killer kids, and Tony Montana.
Yeah! Say hello to my little Chris Gore!
Welcome back, film expert Chris Gore.
Thank you, thanks. Batman does DVD reviews?
Oh yeah, he does them good.
How do you know I'm not Batman? I could be Batman.
Do the voice.
Do the voice. Swear to me! That's pretty much what he does. The voice.
Maybe Chris Gore is Batman?
Probably not.
All right, Batman, what's up first?
Okay, what's up first is X-Men First Class.
Now, what did you think of this X-Men prequel?
Amazing. It's actually my favorite of the X-Men films. And it totally, I mean, of course, it benefits from having the other films made. I mean, this is such a credible sequel. What's amazing about it is really Michael Fassbender's performance as Magneto. You really see where the anger came from and this friendship forged with Professor X. I love that. It's almost like it's kind of the prequel I wish the Star Wars prequels were. Like you really, what's with the moaning and the groaning? Just because you really see they have this great friendship, why they broke apart, all the motivations make sense. And the Star Wars prequels are kind of a mixed bag. But this thing is fantastic. Loved it.
Okay.
Every minute of it.
All right.
Yeah.
What was it about First Class that made it stand out over so many of the other superhero films this year?
Well, what's interesting is it's a period piece, and it kind of what's cool about it is it's set in the age when the Marvel superheroes were made. Well,
you had the video
I
for
will
so
lend
long.
you the DVD. I will lend you the DVD tonight. But it's set in the 60s, which is when kind of Marvel became Marvel. And it also, what I love about this film, it features the greatest cameo in Marvel movie history, and it's not Stan Lee, and I won't ruin it, but you have to see it just for that. And there's a ton of behind the scenes, of course. And Bryan Singer was very involved in developing this project. I think that's why it's so good, is they spent so much time on the story for this. And Matthew Vaughn from Kick-Ass, I mean, he nailed it. Just everything across the board, awesomeness.
All right, I think I know the answer, but what's the bottom line?
Oh, it's a buy. Easy buy. Yeah.
First one's a buy.
Yep.
All right, what's our next DVD?
Hannah.
Hannah. So can a teenage girl actually make a good action star?
It's great. It's sort of like the Bourne Identity if Goldilocks were the lead. Because it is sort of a fairy tale. I mean, Kate Blanchett plays this kind of, and even Joe Wright, the director on the commentary track, talks about how his intention was to make a fairy tale, and Kate Blanchett is effectively the witch. She's pure evil out to get this girl. She's, I can't really give it away.
Does this
but
girl play a badass?
She's special. She's very special.
She's special?
She's incredible. The action sequences are amazing. Just from the gunplay to just the clever photography. It's one of my favorites of the year and a real surprise.
Oh.
Real surprise. You
I
guys
like
have
that.
to check it out.
Okay, bottom line?
Yeah, bottom line is buy it.
Nice.
I know, surprise.
You
yeah?
have 2 buys. This
Yeah.
doesn't happen.
Yeah.
All right, what else do we have to check out?
Scarface! Scarface!
All right, how does Scarface look and sound on Blu-ray?
It looks amazing. It sounds amazing. And in addition, this movie really holds up. I mean, sometimes some of my favorite movies that I saw when I was a kid don't quite hold up. This one does, with the exception of the technology. You see these large tube TVs, and that doesn't quite work. But it doesn't matter because you're so engaged in the story, and it's nearly 3 hours, but there's not a boring minute in it. It's fantastic.
All right, now the Blu-ray includes a documentary on the influence the film has had over the years. Is that right?
Yeah. Of course, it's widely known that Scarface was very influential to a lot of rappers, and you see this, with the story. I really think it's a Horatio Alger story, a lot about America, and the documentary has people like Eli Roth, and of course everyone. I love when they make these documentaries and give it a historical perspective, and you get to see what they think about it now, because who knows if a movie's going to be great? You get all these DVDs, everybody's glad-handing talking about how great the experience was. It was great with this, great that. We'll see if it's great. And Scarface is. I mean, and especially all these extras on it.
All right, now there's also a limited edition box available, right?
Oh,
right?
it's
Am I right?
nuts. It is nuts. It's actually...
This is crazy.
If you're a cigar aficionado, which I am not, but I can appreciate the smell of the cedar and fine finishings in this humidor. I mean, it's also got the Tony Montana crest. Look at that. Nice, right? Does that smell great?
It smells so.
Yeah.
It smells so good.
Yeah. Don't put your pet moth in there, though. Your pet moth will not like that smell.
I don't have a pet moth.
Yes, exactly.
What's the bottom line?
Bottom line is buy it. This puppy, though, buy it. But this thing will set you back $1,000. $1,000, limited to 1,000.
There's only 1,000 of these
Only
sold?
1,000 of these. You can get it for like
cool.
700 online.
It's pretty cool, but I don't know that it's worth 1,000. Perhaps you were unaware that some people have a sexual attraction to trees.
What? Sorry, but now you know, and you'll never forget it. WTF.
Ah, beautiful Mother Nature. Everyone loves her many gifts. But did you know that there are people out there who love them a little more than others? People who take their love of trees to an unthinkable extreme. That's right, they want to make sweet, sweet love to a tree. Wait a second. What the It's called dendrophilia, or sometimes known as arborphilia, and it refers to people who are sexually attracted to trees. From palm trees to forest pines, dendrophiliacs are sexually aroused by trees of all shapes and sizes. Some like to watch, while others may prefer a more hands-on approach. The root cause of dendrophilia is believed to be found in being aroused by sexual contact with phallic symbols. It's also been said that the physical shape of a tree reminds these tree lovers of the human body, and a subconscious sexual connection is made between the two. The need to protect or save trees from dying or being chopped down is said to be another possible factor in a dendrophiliac's attraction to our wooded friends. Whatever the scientific explanation may be, it's probably not the type of person you want to be around on Arbor Day. All jokes aside, while it might seem a bit ridiculous for someone to be sexually attracted to trees, there is a huge online community of people who share in this love of the lumber. There are hundreds of Flickr pages, forums, and YouTube videos dedicated to helping dendrophiliacs shiver their timbers. So for all those nature lovers out there who look to trees for more than just shade, we won't tell you that you're barking up the wrong tree, but we are gonna ask, what the
Summer is officially over, but don't worry. Blair Herter and Morgan Webb say there are good things in store.
Camera turn! They're wrapping out the season with a sneak peek at the biggest games of the fall.
Well, hello, X Plays Morgan Webb.
You guys. Nice. Love it.
Well done. It's over.
It's
Bring
over.
the rain down.
It is over.
Oh, it's been the worst summer in memory.
It has been just the saddest, most miserable summer. There's nothing to play at all.
We're so excited. But first thing though, we got to do a little business first.
All right, business.
First game we're going to talk about. Personally, Morgana and myself think maybe a little overhyped because of the trailer alone.
So they put out this trailer.
Of course, we're talking Dead Island. Talking Dead Island.
I guess we should have brought the people at home in on
Yes.
this, but Blair and I are just psychically connected.
Yeah.
There's this trailer, and everybody went. I'm trying to think of a word that doesn't involve swearing. They went crazy for it. They went crazy for this trailer, and they thought it's going to be the best thing ever. But the trailer didn't show any gameplay. I feel like we've had a lot of zombie games.
Yeah, we have. And this is obviously a discussion we've had quite a bit. And the developers of the game said we are bringing something different to the table. And they are trying to do a couple of things.
Yeah.
What are those
so
things?
it's actually sort of melee combat. So it's sort of melee first-person shooting. So you get weapons, you can sort of craft weapons, put weapons together. But basically, any sort of projectile, you're going to be throwing something. You're getting in there. You're getting, this is not far combat. We're up close and personal.
See, and I'm not trying to tell people how to make games, but if you're fighting against something whose only attack is to bite you want to stay as far away as possible from them. But I'm not trying to tell you how to make your game.
But I think people who are zombie fans are really going to like this game. I'm personally not the biggest fan of zombie games, so that's sort of just, we all have different opinions.
Yeah, very much so. And again, it is kind of the first of what is going to be a couple of months of awesomeness.
Right.
So if you don't have anything to play.
We're already seeing Madden. Resistance 3 is also coming out next week.
Right. Let's talk about the ending of one of probably the manliest trilogy in the history of video games. Gears of War 3 is finally, that particular story is coming to a close.
Yes.
What do you know about the final chapter?
So it takes place 18 months after Gears of War 2. Something that's very exciting for me is that there's ladies in it.
Finally! No, and the ladies are doing things that contribute to the story.
Oh, no.
They're not just hiding or they're missing.
Or forgetting to wear their tops.
Yes.
Yes, you can actually, there's 4-player co-op. You can play as females. They're burly. They're manly women. I mean, they've got the fun.
Perfect.
They have
Morgan.
the big cog armor, and of course, multiplayer is a huge thing with Gears of War 3, and they have Beast mode, which is sort of reverse horde mode. And so this is going to be an epic release. This is one of those things that everybody is going to stay home and play. And of course, we're going to find out if Carmine lives or dies, which is another fun thing about the series.
Yeah, and we all know you want him to die.
Absolutely.
It's okay to admit that. Poor Carmine.
Because I love tradition. I'm a traditionalist. And if he's died in all the other games, he needs to die a horrible, ridiculous, frivolous death in this game too.
Sure, that's totally valid. You should talk to a therapist. And listen, in October, there's also, and this is something that I spoke about a little bit yesterday on the show, but it's kind of flown a little below the radar because Bethesda also has another big game coming out. But Rage looks sweet.
I'm so excited about this that I want to stand up, but then the camera people get mad at me because I'm going to be out of frame. I have gotten a chance to play Rage at QuakeCon, and it plays like butter. It plays so beautifully and smoothly, and everything is where you want it to be. And I just think it's going to be amazing. I'm crunching my cards
do that.
right now in anticipation.
So.
Yeah, it was good stuff. I'm very excited for that.
Yeah, obviously, I can tell.
A little bit.
The cards thank you for that.
Soon.
It is. And also a quick note to point out too, id Tech 5, I think Unreal is obviously the dominant engine in the industry, but I think id Tech 5 is going to be adapted by quite a few people because it makes a game play like no other game has ever played.
They totally rethought the way that they develop games and make games and are able to create a realistic world, and it is. Trying to think of a word that doesn't include swearing. Beautiful.
Very cool. Well, thank you for joining me on a mini X-Play here. I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Morgan Webb, ladies and gentlemen.
Have you ever wondered whether or not Tony Stark could save a city from a massive Zodiac computer virus?
I've never heard of that virus. Is that new?
Or what happens when Logan teams up with Cyclops to save Mariko?
What the who now?
Marvel Anime's Iron Man and Wolverine are all new tonight at 11, only on G4.
Oh, now I get it.
Yeah. Head to g4tv.com/Marvel for more info. Stick around. We'll be right back with a bona fide made-up porn star played by Nick Swardson.
You said Bona.
Yes, I said Bona.
You said it again! You didn't even know!
Bona.
Ah, this is amazing! It's not every day you get to meet an amateur porn star, unless you live in Studio City.
Here's Nick Swardson, who's about to take his pants off in the new movie Bucky Larson. Born to be a star.
Hey, ma'am, I got your paper.
You can leave the paper on the counter.
I saw it. Don't look at me.
I have a problem, Paperboy. Maybe you can help me. I have a sundae, but it needs nuts and cream on it.
Oh, no. Here, let me help. I'll just get my scooper out. That's it. It's average.
Join me now is Nick Swardson. Nicky Swards. Please, at the break, Nick was telling me a delightful one-ball story.
It's a horrifying kind of story, but I knew that Chris would like it. And it's basically a guy told me one time, it was like at a party too, which was weird, and he was saying that he only had one ball. And the reason he did is because he went swimming one time and he dove into the pool and he hit the water flat, and he was wearing a Speedo and one of his balls shattered, he said.
Shattered? They're not.
Balls and shattered should never be in the same sentence. That should just stay a Rolling Stones song.
We show those videos on WebTV all the time, and it's like, guys, a ball is like a grape in a change purse. Like, you have to protect it; they will explode.
Yes, it's a very.
I've actually seen your nards. We performed. We did a show at Bumbershoot Comedy Festival like 10 years ago or 8 years ago, and there was a knock on my hotel room door, and Nick Swardson and David Cross came in buck naked and started jumping up and down on the bed, going, "Wee!"
Buck naked. That was also the same trip where I was in the green room, and I went up to, I think, Brian Posehn, and I took a hamburger bun, and I had put all of my genitals on the bun. And I came out of a refrigerator, and I go, "Does anybody want to split this?" And everyone was like, "What is it?" I was like, "Oh, my, no! I never want to split that."
So Bucky Larson, how'd you get Don Johnson? That's awesome. Don Johnson's awesome.
He's amazing. He's amazing in the movie. We were so psyched to have him, and he just kept regaling Miami Vice stories. You can't get enough Miami Vice stories.
No.
Every day I was like, "Tell me about the Miami Vice." I was like a little kid, like a little peasant boy asking for little nuggets of drugs.
Well, one day I pushed my linen jacket up to my elbows and didn't put on socks. Oh, I love that story.
It was like helicopters made out of cocaine. It was like amazing. It was the greatest time to live ever.
What is it like? What is it like over at the kind of Sandler camp, where you guys just basically kind of mess around and then you go, "Hey, I have an idea for a thing," and then he goes, "Okay, go make it." Like, is that pretty much how it works?
It's not. Like, the biggest misconception about that camp is it's like they work like crazy. Like, nobody, like, people don't drink, like, nobody gets high. Like, they're really, like, Adam's like a workaholic. So he had this idea for Bucky Larson. It was basically this sweet, innocent kid gets fired from his job. His friends try to cheer him up. They show him a porno, and he recognizes his parents as the stars of the porno. So instead of being horrified, he's like, "No, that's my calling. That's my destiny. Like, I'm going to do that now." So he basically goes to Hollywood, but he has, like, you know, buck teeth, this dumb haircut, a small the exact opposite of what porn stars are. And we made him that goofy just because we wanted all these walls for him to kind of get over, you know, to get in his way for him to try to be a porn star.
Doesn't he have like an enormous man bush?
Yeah, he's got a huge bush. It's pretty awesome. And the tricky thing about this movie is that we're marketing it, but we can't show anything crazy. And it's like, there's so much crazy stuff. It's like all the TV commercials, it's like, oh yeah, that looks all right, but it's like, the movie's nuts. It's like awesome. Like it's the same, it's the same guys behind Grandma's Boy. So it's like, there's a lot of crazy, yeah, there's a lot of like crazy characters and great lines. And there's so much great stuff. We're really proud of it.
Are you doing any stand-up anytime soon where people can see it?
I'm not, man.
You've got to see Nick Swardson do stand-up. If you've never seen Nick do stand-up, he's one of the friggin' best No, don't. You're not this.
No, I mean, I've got the second season of my show, Pretend I'm, coming out on October 5th, and I did stand-up on this season of the show.
Cool.
So on that show, like, I do stand-up on that. So that's the extent of what I've been doing.
Well, I wish we had more time. Nick Swardson is here, ladies and gentlemen. Come here, you. I love you.
We fondly remember the Sega Dreamcast.
Tales from the Console Graveyard is up next.
We all know the story of Roswell, New Mexico, but no one knows who or what landed there. We do now. Introducing the Marbians, a friendly bunch of Martians that just need help finding their way home. This simple but addictive puzzle game is as easy as a flick, or at least it starts that way. Send the Marbian flying around moving walls, warps, and black holes so that he can find his way back to his ship. Collect as many blue moon rocks as possible along the way. Levels can be completed without collecting them all, but where's the fun in that? Nab them all and it unlocks additional items. As you climb the ladder of 72 levels, Marbians multiply and buttons and transports turn what used to be a simple journey into a web of madness. So be a kind human and help the Marbians phone home. Hit up the App Store and try it for free.
I'm proud of myself. I did it. I said my God, great. I'm doing this thing. What? That's hilarious.
Coming up on Attack of the Show. Comedian Jim Norton drops by the studio live to dispense with the funnies. Then on DVD Day, Chris Gore rates the latest flicks on disc, including the Star Wars Blu-rays and superhero epic Thor. And we take a game break with Morgan Webb, who gives us the lowdown on the latest upcoming games. It's Attack of the Show.
And now, dim the lights.
It's time for another spooky edition of Tales from the Console Graveyard. Oh! Get in the van.
In 1999, the Sony PlayStation dominated the gaming world. Cartridges were getting one last push with the N64, while the Saturn was dying a slow death, prompting Sega to release their new system, the Dreamcast, in the US. Priced at $200, this was the world's first 128-bit console. It supported over 16 million colors and had a resolution of 640 by 480, making it the most powerful system at the time.
Make one wrong move and I'll shoot.
The graphics for the Dreamcast were nothing short of a revelation. You look at Sonic Adventure with the Orca right there behind Sonic, and there's that many different colors and that much speed that's happening. It really was a sense that we had seen the true future of where video games were going to go. Yes!
Not only was the Dreamcast the first console to have a built-in modem, but was also the first to release downloadable content, adding missions and items for titles like Skies of Arcadia and Phantasy Star Online.
Broadband is really the experience that you want for gaming. Unfortunately, the dial-up was a little slow, a little clunky, but I was there with a little keyboard. I bought a special keyboard just with a special Dreamcast plug so I could get online and talk trash with other 14-year-old kids.
Along with 4 controller ports, the system was boxed with a single D-pad that had 2 expansion slots, which many fans took advantage of with their LCD memory cards called Visual Memory Units, or VMUs.
The VMU is the greatest creation in the history of peripherals. You can call your plays on your controller so your friend next to you couldn't see what you were doing. And that was a game changer.
Stay tuned.
The system successfully sold 500,000 units in the first 2 weeks of infancy. This was aided by several launch titles like Soul Calibur and Ready to Rumble.
Let's get ready to rumble!
Ready to Rumble
I brought with me when I did Road Trip. And I was so frustrated that I couldn't beat this certain guy that I threw my controller in anger and it smashed the glass coffee table in my hotel room and broke it.
Over 700 games were released on the Dreamcast, many of them with add-on peripherals ranging from microphones to fishing rods.
You could buy a pair of maracas, virtual maracas, to play a maraca game.
Well, some games were ports of popular arcade titles like Crazy Taxi.
I loved Crazy Taxi. And people make fun of me for loving Crazy Taxi, but you loved Crazy Taxi too.
And the classic zombie shooter House of the Dead 2.
I don't want to die.
Many titles were a mix of the offbeat, like the experimental open-world adventure Shenmue.
It was supposed to be a living world where everybody had a set daily routine, and you were part of that world. If you want to go on missions, great. If you want to get a job, fine, drive a forklift. Are you looking for sailors? Yeah, that was actually a plot point.
Who the hell is it?
You were looking for sailors.
As pedantic or as simple as the game can sound when you explain it, to actually play that game, especially at that time, was just awe-inspiring.
Cut the crap!
However, it was titles like Project Seaman that really pushed the envelope.
Guess what we're doing over here?
You actually had a microphone that was attached to your gigantic Dreamcast controller, and you talked to this fish thing.
What's up?
But it had a person face, and it birthed itself out of this like giant nautilus.
For people like me, it taught me a lot about responsibility, because if you didn't feed that little dude in his creepy ass face, he was gonna die. And then you felt bad about that.
I'm mad at you right now.
That dude lived in your TV.
What an experiment. Let's release a microphone and let you talk to a fish. Thank you, Sega.
Baby, you rock my tank.
Despite these attempts to push the boundaries of video games, the Dreamcast would fail. Partially due to the release of the DVD-friendly PlayStation 2 1 year later. Ultimately, the Dreamcast would only go on to sell about 10 million units, compared to the PS2, which was 15 times that. In 2001, Sega would end the production of the Dreamcast only 3 years after its release.
I think the Dreamcast should be best regarded, obviously with warm memories for certain games that were on it, but more importantly, that was the end of the era when interesting things were happening on consoles. And I didn't say successful things, and I didn't say good things, but interesting things.
Don't worry, I'll take you out.
While games would continue to be developed for the Dreamcast in Japan until 2007, Sega would shift its focus to software, ending its 20-year run of producing home gaming consoles.
Were there missteps? Absolutely, but through those missteps, we actually saw their best foot forward. I love the Dreamcast. It's still my favorite console of all time.
Bucky Larson, Born to be a Star, hits theaters Friday, September 9th.
Yeah! Thanks to our guests, Nick Swardson, Blair Herter, Morgan Webb,